こわばる心震える手は掴みたいものがあるそれだけさにおにおいに空にらんでも変わっていけるのは自分自身だけそれだけさ強くなれる理由を知った僕を連れて進めどうしたって消せない夢も止まれない今も誰かのために強くなれるならありがとう悲しみよ世界に打ちされて意味をしたグレンの花よ咲き誇れ運命を照らして
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation podcast. Celeste, you there?
I'm always here.
Yay!
Hey! It's not like he has a gun pointed to my head making me do this.
Oh, never. That was last week.
Last week actually wasn't bad. I will admit that.
You say as there's a wolf in a dress on screen right now?
Not on for me.
I see two pictures related to what we're talking about today, and I see a picture of a wolf in a dress.
my thing is like toned like oh, I got adjusted to where I only see the two pictures.
Oh.
So no, I don't see no wolf in a dress, but I'm gonna scroll up just to take a look at that.
Just to take a look at it. Oh man. Okay, so this was your week, so you want to do the introduction here, huh?
Yes. Okay, so I decided to do Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yabai, one of my favorite series. I am gonna be that one person that I read the manga and I finished it already. So, bam, it's really good. It's really good. I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna do my best. Well, I am not gonna spoil it. Like, I am gonna do my best. I am definitely not gonna spoil it. But I love the series so much that I'll try my best not to go on a tangent.
Right.
Like, especially, when I mention a character, like, I'm gonna try to stick to the episode,
Right, the 5-episode format.
The 5-episode format. I'm not gonna go farther than what it should be.
Right.
At least try my best. But I know for sure no spoilers. No spoilers whatsoever.
No spoilers. Except for when in the last 5 minutes we reveal that everyone died.
Yes.
And that it was all a dream.
It was all a dream sequence. So yeah, so episode 1 of Demon Slayer, we are introduced to Tanjiro. I can't come on. I am a fan, but I can't pronounce the name like super bueno. But we were introduced to Tanjiro. Hey, look at Tanjiro right there on the screen.
I assumed it's Komodo, like Komodo dragon.
Komodo, not Komodo. So we're introduced to Tanjiro, and he is gearing up and getting ready to go down the mountain to sell some coal, so he can get some money for the family. And we are introduced to his little siblings. I got a picture. His little siblings. And oh my gosh, his parents got it on. Let's just say that. His parents got it on. So we are introduced to the mom, which I think her name, if I remember correctly, is trying to remember how to pronounce it because I think it's Kai. And then he has a younger sister named Hanako. a younger brother named Shigure and another brother named Takeo. And they're the first three that you see with the mom. And they're fighting to go down the mountain with Tanjiro to go sell the coal. But the mom's like, you guys can't go because you guys are going to slow him down. Actually, at first, the mom was like, you don't have to do this. It's snowing pretty bad. Like, you don't have to go. But Tanjiro wants to go because he wants to get money because the New Year is coming up. And he wants the family to have a feast. And so the mom's like, well, I can't argue with that. You know, come on, food.
I do enjoy eating.
Who doesn't, you know? And so then, you know, his siblings are arguing, wanting to go with him. But, you know, the mom's like, you know, he can't take the cart because of the snow. So, you know, if you get tired, he won't be able to carry you. So basically, she's telling him that they're gonna be a burden, you know.
Stop being a bunch of little shits.
Basically. And so then, you know, Tanjiro's like, okay, peace out. I gotta go sell this coal. No one's gonna sell this coal but me. And so he goes, and then he runs into his sister Nezuko, and Nezuko is carrying their younger brother, Rokuta. I'm trying to remember Rakuda. Not Barracuda, but Rakuda. And then you know, and then we hear from her that the youngest brother had just fallen asleep, and it's a good thing they had fallen asleep because their dad had just passed away, and he's like he follows Tanjiro everywhere. Like he sticks to him on glue ever since the father passed away.
Yeah, I guess it's like the next elder male.
Yeah. You know how that is.
Oh yeah.
And so then, you know, she tells him have a safe trip, and so he goes down the mountain, and then he goes into town, and in town, you know, he's going around like, oh, who wants coal? I got some coal. Coal, people, come buy some coal.
But like, not even though, because he says it to like, he just says to one lady like, oh, I have this coal, and then everyone is like, oh yeah, thanks for helping me fix my door. I'll buy some coal. Hey, I don't need some coal, but thank you for doing this. You want to come here?
No, right. Yeah. I was exaggerating on the coal thing, but yeah, I was gonna get into that. But yeah, and then while he's talking to one of the townspeople, a kid, I want to say like maybe a teenager, like rushes out. And then he's like, Tanjiro, help me. I'm being accused of breaking a plate. You know, use your keen smell. And that's when we find out. Oh my god. But anyways. And so then he's like, use your keen sense of smell. And then that's when we find out that Tanjiro has this ability to like smell like things.
Yeah, he's like a bloodhound.
Yeah, he's a bloodhound, and so then he's like, so the guy's like, I'm being accused of breaking this plate. I didn't do it. And so then he has him sniff the plate, and he's like, oh yeah, he didn't do it. A cat did it. And so the kid was acquitted because everybody knows that Tanjiro's nose is always on point. Apparently.
Yeah, they just trust him so much.
Yeah, like the townspeople apparently love him. I mean, who wouldn't love him? You know. He's just like this ball ray of sunshine. Like, seriously.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who wouldn't love him. We'll get to that.
Shut up. And so then, you know, he finished his errands or selling the coal, whatever. And so then it's dark. So then he starts walking up a mountain, and then somebody in a shack. Well, it's like a shack. I mean, it looks like a shack. And it's one of the townspeople that lives, like, I guess more in the outskirts near the mountain. And he's like, Tanjiro, you shouldn't be walking late at night. And then Tanjiro's like, don't worry, like, I'm Gucci, you know. And so the guy
no, it's funny because that's basically how it is, though. He's just basically like, no, I'm good, I got a good nose.
Yeah. And so then the guy's like, no, come inside, you know, like, I'll help you. You know, I'm not, well, like, he insists, like, you're not walking up the mountain late at night. And so then Tanjiro's like, okay, fine. So he goes inside, and then, like, he's feeding Tanjiro because, you know, food. and
Who doesn't like
he's
food?
yeah, who doesn't like food? And so then Tanjiro is so they're eating and like getting ready and shit. And the guy's like, yeah, you shouldn't be walking because of demons. And then Tanjiro's like, demons? Like, what are you talking about? I have never heard of demons before. And the guy's like, yeah, don't you know about the demons that lurk at night and that kill people? Very ominous.
Yeah.
And so Tanjiro's like, oh, okay, whatever. Then he's laying in bed and then he starts having flashbacks. His grandma and his grandma telling him stories about demons. And it's the next day and he heads up the mountain, and as he's heading up the mountain, him and that keen sense of smell, he senses the blood. And so then he like, holy crap, blood. So then he like runs, and then he sees his whole family massacred.
Oh no.
His whole family massacred. I didn't get an image of that.
Yeah, I decided to stay away from images of that just in case, in terms of service.
Yeah, so I didn't get an image of that, but yeah, his whole family's massacred. He goes up to then he goes to the house. He sees his mom, and some of his siblings inside with the mom, dead. And then he looks outside, and Nezuko's on top of the youngest one, like she was trying to protect him.
Yeah.
And so he goes up to her, and he noticed that she's still alive. So then he picks her up, and then so he's like bolting down the mountain, and panicking, rightfully so. His family just got massacred. And so as he's like running down the mountain, he like loses his footing, and then he like falls off like a good, I want to say like a cliff. I felt like it was like a cliff.
Yeah.
And he lands on the snow, and then like the snow softens the blow. But then he's like, even though the snow softened the blow, it's because of the snow that I fell. So then and then that's when Nezuko, like, he starts seeing that she's not normal, and that holy crap, she is a demon. What?
Crazy.
Yeah. And so she's showing her, like her demon side, and he's like, what's going on? And then and so he's like kind of like struggling with her. And then someone comes out of nowhere and like tries to slice Nezuko, but as Tanjiro was able to like catch it, so he like flips her to block it. And he's like, why'd you protect her? And he's like, that's my little sister, man. Like, you're trying to kill my little sister.
Only I can do that.
No. He wouldn't even try to kill his little sister. That's the thing. Like,
he doesn't qualify as a real big brother then.
Because he doesn't want to kill his little sister.
Yes.
I wouldn't know. Because I ain't a big brother. But anyways, and so then they're kind of like arguing and stuff, and then they start fighting. And of course, this is like a one-sided battle. And his name, I'm trying to remember, Tokoyami.
Close enough. I don't know.
I know his name, but
Todoroki.
I know. Oh my god, Todoroki Shoto. But I know I'm butchering it. Like, I know for a fact I'm butchering it. Tomokio?
Dude, we're
Tomokio.
Americans. Don't worry about it.
Anyways, so then he's explaining like he's a demon slayer, like she's a demon, he has to kill her, and then he's like no, and so then Tanjiro and he gets a hold of the sister, like he gets a hold of her, and Tanjiro, he's like like fight me basically. And so then and the guy's like telling Tanjiro like you're weak, like you have these many options and you ain't doing shit basically. And so then Tanjiro, like, he has like an axe and like he like runs and the guy thinks he has the axe, but nope. He threw the axe and the axe like almost gets him in the head. And then they talk some more and then like he knocks Tanjiro out. And then when Tanjiro wakes up, you know, he wakes up next to his sister. And Tomoko
The guy.
Giyu. I know he goes by Giyu too.
Yeah.
Like, so Giyu was like, you know what? You got some moxie, kid. You got some moxie. So he's like, you know, go to Mount Sagiri, look for Uro Kurodaki. Uro Kurodaki. And so then he leaves. And then that's the end of the episode.
I thought it was cool that when Tanjiro was knocked out, like all we've seen of Nezuko so far as demon is just rabid. So Tanjiro gets knocked out and it looks like the guy is going to kill him. And Nezuko actually breaks free from his hold to protect her brother, and that's what makes him say like, okay, maybe.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So he knocks him out, and then Nezuko goes sister mode, protects him, and and that's when Gi was like,
maybe they're different, and then he knocks Nezuko out.
Different. She's not like any other demon girl.
But then episode 2 comes, and Tanjiro Tangerine damn near breaks a man's wrist to try to give him money for a basket and some bamboo, because the guy was like, no, I don't need any money. And he's like, here, take the money. And
he's just a swell guy.
Yeah.
Just a swell guy.
He bullies you into taking his money. Like, what the fuck? Take my lunch money, kid. So then he goes and he takes those materials back to like this small cave that him and Nezuko were hiding in, and she's dug a hole, and it's to avoid the sunlight, because sunlight kills demons. So the basket that he bought from the man has like holes in it, so to avoid the sun leaking through the holes, he uses the bamboo to like patch it up, and he tells Nezuko to try to get into it, and she dives headfirst in like a cat, but she only reaches like up to her waist. And he remembers back in episode 1 when he was struggling with her, she grew. So he was like, okay, maybe demons have shape-shifting abilities. Nezuko, can you shrink? And she is able to, and she can fit inside the box, and they can travel during the day. That way they don't have to only travel at night where the demons are active. So they're traveling, and nighttime finally hits, and they come across a temple. And at first they think, okay, well, Tanjiro thinks we can wait here until sunrise, we can have a rest, but then he smells blood in the air. So they go to investigate, and they actually find another demon feasting on people inside that he killed. And this is him right here. I know I have a picture. Yep. The temple demon. And they see all the blood and the dead bodies, and Nezuko starts drooling. And at this point, she has like this piece of bamboo in her mouth to stop her from like trying to bite Tanjiro, just in case. So she's there drooling at the site, and Tanjiro and the demon start fighting each other. And she hears him struggling and snaps out of it, and she runs up to the battle that they're having and just kicks the demon's head off. Just like
Boom.
Clean, it just disappears. But it doesn't even stop him, because apparently demons are immortal unless you have a very specific way of killing them. So Tanjiro is fighting the head, which has now grown arms, because demons can also regenerate, and Nezuko's fighting the body. So Tanjiro, he's pretty quick-witted, and he came up with the idea to the demon had wrapped its hair around his axe, so he threw it into a tree. So the hair is now trapping the demon in the tree, and he can't take it out because he's still just a head with arms. So Tanjiro says, okay, I'll deal with that in a second. I have to go help my sister. So he runs to her, and he sees that they're fighting, and they're near like another cliff because that seems to be a running thing, and he just like tackles the body of the demon off the cliff, and he goes with it, and luckily Nezuko catches him. The body falls and dies apparently,
Yeah.
but the head is still alive, so the demon is still alive. So I guess like I don't know. I guess like if the body would have fully regenerated, it would have gotten its own head, and it just would have been two of the same demon. I'm not sure how it works. They don't really explain it.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't think this is spoily, but like there's multiple demons that have like multiple of themselves. So it is a thing that they can do.
Okay. Well, at this point, they didn't explain that. It was just like, my body must have died. Because apparently he was able to sense it. He knew that his body died. So a man in a mask comes and tells Tanjiro that the demon isn't dead yet and that he needs to finish the job. But Tanjiro just can't bring himself to do it because he doesn't want to cause the demon to suffer. And he takes too long to really make a decision, and the sun actually destroys the demon, which seems very painful to the demon. So maybe he didn't make the right choice by being indecisive. And the masked man turns out to be the man that they were looking for, that the Todoroki Todoroki told them to look for. This is him. He wears like a red mask with a long nose. And
Tanjiro describes it as a clown mask.
Did he?
He did. Did you watch the English, or did you watch
the English dub?
In the English, he says that it's a clown mask.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. But he turns out to be the exact person that they're looking for, which, you know, big surprise there. And he actually smacks Tanjiro for being too indecisive, and tells him that he can never allow Nezuko to harm a human. And Tanjiro agrees, and is then told that he'll be tested to see if he can join the Demon Corps. And the two start a trek up the mountain that's there. It's like at the base. And the man just disappears and tells Tanjiro to find a way back to the house at the foot of the mountain before sunrise hits. Tanjiro thinks it'll be easy because he can follow the man's scent, but apparently there's traps laid out all over the mountain, like pitfalls and like logs attached to wires that'll swing at him, you know, a bunch of ninja shit, basically. And he figures out that he's actually able to sniff out the traps because a human laid them, so he can smell the human scent, and that's completely bullshit. I hate it. And
that's super power. His superpower.
Yeah, it's his cheat ability. It's so stupid. Like, I hate it, but I love it. So he can sniff them out, but he can't always avoid them because he's not very athletic. But after, you know, suffering a bunch, he's able to make it back to the house, and we get a flashback of the man getting the letter from Giyu asking him to train Tanjiro, and it's at that point that he accepts him as a student, and the credits roll.
Because once you get a letter of recommendation, you know, that's just how it works.
Yeah, of course.
I've gotten a letter of recommendation and gotten a job because of that letter of recommendation. But anyway, so then episode 3, we start off with Tanjiro writing in a journal, and it's basically like this: Dear Diary, I woke up early in the morning and I went and trained. Dear Diary, I did swinging with the sword. But no, no, but actually, she's writing in the journal, and no one's talking. It's just him writing, and then it goes
Like, he
into
has a reason for it, though.
No, he does have a reason for it, but it's not explained right there.
Which was weird.
Yeah, so he's just writing, and then you see Nezuko sleeping, and then him just like looks at her, and then he goes back to writing, and then it goes to like the opening credits, and then after the opening credits, it starts off with Uru. Oh my gosh.
Okay, while you think about his name,
Uru
I just want to say, the opening credits are fucking. That's a banger.
It is the
It's
opening
short,
credit.
but it's a banger.
No, I don't know why, because I watched it on Hulu. I
Uh-huh.
don't where did you on Hulu for some reason they cut the opening credits. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. Because even right
It
now, I'm playing it on loop.
uh
I'm playing a cover of it by Gargura, and it's just like a minute and 30 seconds.
yeah, no, definitely when you have the chance, look up the full opening.
Yeah. I have to play a cover because every time we do this podcast and I upload it to YouTube, I get a copyright strike for the background music.
But no, but definitely yeah, definitely I recommend looking up the full opening.
Oh, definitely.
Um I have the opening, like the full opening on my, and it's by Lisa. And Lisa does a lot of opening songs for a lot of anime. And I have that, and it's called Gurren, and I have it on my phone. Yeah. So anyways, so then right after the opening credits, it goes to Uraraki explaining what the demon slayers are. And the demon slayers is they're just basically the demon slayer corps. They're an organization that's not known, or what's that word? They're not like, they're completely unrecognized by the government, and they, like, to the government, they don't exist. And so it's like by like hundreds of people, and like they're basically like the unknown heroes.
Secret
I guess.
Service.
Yeah, like they, people don't know what they do for them. And so then after, like, he explains it, um that's when we're that's when we're introduced to what Tanjiro is writing in the journal. And it's just him explaining, like, all the training he's been doing, like day every single day he's written. And they even show like stacks of books, of journals that he has, written in. And like, I think 6 months pass.
Yeah.
Six months pass, and Uraraki's like, okay, I basically taught you everything that I know. And you're gonna have to, no, yeah, I so 6 months pass, and then he starts to train him, like, on breathing techniques. And then after he's done training him his breathing techniques, and which is like, he does like a water form. And so the water form has 10 techniques, and so he trains Tanjiro how to do the 10 techniques. And that takes him like another 6 months. And so it's been a year. And so once the year passed, Uraki's like, okay, we're I taught you all that I can. You know, I you have to do this one thing, and then once you finish this task, I'll I'll have you join the, oh my gosh, I forgot what it was called. I like, it's basically the entrance exam for demon slayers.
Yeah.
And so he takes them to a giant boulder, and then he tells them, yeah, you have to slice this boulder in half. And once you slice the boulder in half, I'll let you go take the entrance exams for the demon slayers. And so Tanjiro is like at this rock every single day, and that's like another 6 months goes by, and he still hasn't put like a dent in the rock or boulder.
Uh-huh.
And so then he's like frustrated, and he's annoyed, he's pissed at it. And he's taking his frustrations out of the rock, and then he hears someone say, stop, like, stop your complaining. And then he looks up, and then he sees this guy. He sees this guy sitting on the rock, and and so the guy is like, you're weak, basically, calling Tanjiro a little punk ass. And so then he's like, fight me. And so then he pulls out his sword. I'm trying to remember if he tells him his name, but his name is Saibato, Saibato, Sabato, Sabato,
Sabito.
Sabato, Sabito, Sabito, Sabito. So Sabito, tells him, fight me, and he has a wooden sword. And Tanjiro's like, I can't fight you because you have a wooden sword. It's not fair. And the guy's basically like I don't need a real sword to defeat you. Like, mic drop, you know.
Bitch.
And so they fight, and he beats Tanjiro, and
So easily.
yeah, easily he beats him easily, and then like Tanjiro's like passed out on the floor, and then he's like, okay, he looks at somebody, and he's like, it's up to you to train him. He says this to this girl. Her name is Momoka, and after Tanjiro
Makumo.
wakes up, Makomo, Makoma, Makoma. Anyways, like I don't mean to butcher names, but I'm not gonna be struggling. I'm not gonna be struggling for like 5 minutes trying to pronounce it correctly. But so anyway, so she takes Tanjiro under her wing. And they practice, and I think another 6 months pass. Yeah, another 6 months pass, and then she's like, "Okay, you're ready. You can do this." And so she fights. Tanjiro fights Sabito again,
Uh-huh.
and he does it with ease, like super ease, and that he cuts the guy's mask in half, and he like reveals his face.
We both had the
And
same
the
picture.
and so he reveals his face, and then Tanjiro was like, wow, he has a sad, he's smiling, but it's sad. And so then like the guy then like disappears, and then Tanjiro realizes that he cut the boulder. And so right when he cuts the boulder, like Uraraki comes up, and he's like, you're ready to go.
You are ready, my son.
Your training's done.
And that's basically where episode 4 picks up, because it goes back to when they have the fight, and he has.
Yes.
So when I was watching it, and I guess this isn't spoilers because we're gonna talk about it anyway, but I was watching it and those two kids showed up. I was like, those are ghosts.
Oh yeah, because I forgot to mention.
You'll mention it when you get to your episode. Why that is right?
No. It happened in my episode because when he hears him, Tanjiro looks up, and he's like, I couldn't smell him.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't smell him.
Yeah.
So
I was immediately like, when he said I couldn't smell him, I was like okay, maybe that's like a Demon Slayer thing. They can nullify stuff like that, and like his nose won't be such a big thing later on. But then like the more that I watched it, I was like, that kid's a ghost. It's like, it has every aspect of it being a ghost kid, and it even reminded me of like Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball, when Goku's a kid, he fights his grandfather's ghost, and he's wearing a mask like that because he's a ghost. And I was like, maybe that's a Japanese thing I don't know about, but that's off topic. So episode 4 picks up with Tanjiro apparently fighting ghosts and splitting the boulder, and he talks about how he has this metaphorical thread on his blade that shows him the best place to strike an enemy, and that's how he was able to beat the ghost boy and slice through the boulder. Urokodaki comes and sees the split rock and admits that he never planned to actually send Tanjiro to the final selection, and he says he didn't want to see any more children die, so he gave him a test that he believed he could never pass. But he ends up praising Tanjiro and saying that he's proud of him, causing Tanjiro to cry, because I guess, now he's gone at this point 2 years without a family. His sister was asleep this whole time. His dad died before the show even started, so that's probably cut deep for him. The two have a celebratory dinner, and Tanjiro cuts his hair, which fucking sucked, because I thought he looked cool with the long hair.
I know, I like him with long hair too.
Yeah, man. And the old man is like, hey, you like that food? Was it good? So at that point, I'm like, he's gonna fucking, like, give him sleeping poison or something so he doesn't make it to the test. But no, instead he just tells him that the more a demon eats, the more powerful it is. And then he gives him one of the masks that, like, the ghost kids are wearing, and says that it has, like, a special charm on it to help protect them from harm. So the next morning, Tanjiro leaves, and he says, say hi to Sabito and Makomo for me. and the old man is shocked. And he just says, "How does he know the names of the dead?" And I was like, I fucking knew it. So it just kind of like cuts to when he gets to the area of the final exam, and I have a picture of it actually. There's like these trees surrounding a clearing, and apparently the flowers on the trees can like the smell of it prevents demons from corrosing. So it's
wisteria.
like wisteria. So it's like a boundary, and they're told it's like him and like a bunch of other kids around his age. They're told that they have to go in and was it they have to survive 7 days or they have to make it out before 7 days are up?
They had to make it before.
Okay, because I was kind of distracted by
No, if I remember, because I feel like it was I'm trying to remember. I feel like they had to at least reach the end. They had to make it to the end.
My brain took it as like they have to survive 7 days, but then that was clearly not 7 days. So I think it was just that they had to reach the end before 7 days. But I was distracted by the creepy ass twins. You know what I mean?
Dude, no spoilers, but I love them.
So as he goes in, he immediately gets trapped by 2 demons and has to fight them head on. And he uses that freaking cheat thread skill and beheads both of them like nothing. And then he just smells something like horrible that like he almost gags. And then he sees another trainee running. So he goes to check it out and sees what seems to be a giant pile of shit with arms. But apparently it's a mutated demon. And I put a little note here in my notes that I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the one that killed the 2 ghost kids. So the demon sees him, and here I actually have a picture. Starting from top left, that's Tanjiro examining the wisteria. Then it's the 2 weird twins with the different color hair. Tanjiro looking at something, I don't know, and then that's like the face of the demon.
Ugly.
So the demon's like, oh, is it still this year or whatever? And Tanjiro's like, no, it's this one. And he like, tells him, you know, I don't understand how the Japanese people do their years and their eras.
I know. He was like Taisho. This is the Taisho, and the guy he knew right away the Taisho. And I was like, how do you know what Taisho is though? You know?
Yeah. Like I literally put here, after listing off bullshit Japanese time periods and confirming it was Urokodaki that trapped him there, the demon confirms that he did kill those 2 kids. Then the demon knocks Tanjiro out in 1 hit, but Tanjiro sees a vision of his bald-ass little brother, and he's able to wake up just before the demon delivers a killing blow. The ghost kids and the demon both mention... Shut up. The ghost kids and the demon both mention how thick the demon's neck is and how it can't be cut. And then Tanjiro just does it in a single swing, and it just cuts the credits right there.
Yeah, he's Tanjiro's little brother.
His brother.
And so then right away the episode starts with a flashback of the demon encountering with Uraraki, and you know, him defeating the demon, and then it cuts to like black or whatever, and then it goes back to Tanjiro like slicing his head. Yeah. Because I noticed with Demon Slayer, Demon Slayer will like pick up right after like literally the last few like scenes on the last episode.
Yeah.
But add like some like other element to it as well. And so then he cuts off his head, and then that demon starts having memories of when he was apparently he was a little kid. That big giant demon was a little kid, and he's having memories. He's like, oh, like I can't believe I killed my older brother. And then he's like, wait a minute, I had an older brother, you know, like I killed him.
Yeah,
like,
it was almost presented as if like the demon is its own being and the kid is still living inside the demon.
Well, what's funny, I got a saved picture of the kid when he was in his like demon form.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, I guess I didn't save it right, so I don't have the picture to show you.
Yeah, fuck
But,
it.
but anyways, but yeah, so then he's crying, and then he's like, I'm alone, I don't want to be by myself. And then, he sees the light, and then he starts running, and then he realizes it's his older brother, and then he tells his other brother like, hey, I'm scared, hold my hand. And then the older brother like, takes his hand. He's like, oh, you're always such a scaredy cat. And then it goes back to the demon, and the demon's like fading away, and then Tanjiro can smell like sorrow, like regret, sorrow coming from him. And he puts his hand in the demon's hand, and then the demon just like disappears.
He cries.
Yeah, he cries. He's crying because he remembers, like, he's regaining his human memories.
Yeah. And
And
that's also how they revealed that Urokodaki was the one who originally beat him and sealed him there.
yeah. And then because the more humans the demons eat, the more, like, the less, humanity they have. So when, the demons are killed, they start to regain their old past memories. And so then right after he like dies, you see the ghost of all of Udaraki's students. And then you see Sabito and Momoka, and they're just smiling at Tanjiro, and then they walk away. They're free. And then Tanjiro is like, I bet they're going back to, Mount Sagiri to go back to Uraraka, because, if Tanjiro would have died right there, his spirit would have wanted to go back to him. And so then that little sequence ends, and then it goes back to like Tanjiro like fighting demons, and him trying to get them like, hey, how do you go back into a human? How do you turn back into a human? And none of them are like saying anything. And I'm pretty sure they're not saying anything because they want to kill him and they want to eat him. And I'm pretty sure they don't know shit,
Yeah.
And so, Tanjiro's fighting and he's killing him, and then he finally makes it to the end. And he's upset with himself because he couldn't get anyone to talk. And so then he finally makes it back to the other end with the wisteria. And he goes in, and then he sees other survivors. And I know their names because I don't remember if they actually said the names there.
No.
But it's the one. Let me put another picture with all of them better. So they say 5 people made it, but there's only 4 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the one that has a shaved head is Genya. Then it's Tanjiro. Then it's Zenitsu. And then the girl is Kanoa.
His name
And
is
she's
Genya?
my girl. Genya, yeah.
That's weird because I was watching it and I had subtitles on, even though I was watching the dub. It's just subtitles sometimes give you like a little insight. And it actually, whenever he talked, his name was Sparrow.
Is it Sparrow, really?
Yeah, it said Sparrow. Like, at first it said like Boy 3 or whatever it was. But as the episode went on, it suddenly changed to Sparrow, and I was like, oh, did I miss them saying his name?
No, his name is Genya.
That's so weird. Probably just a glitch.
But that's my girl. She's my favorite character in this whole series.
Yeah, I know her face, and I know Blondie's face over there just from like pop culture stuff.
Well, and it's funny because I'm actually surprised you know who she is, because she's like, if they do promo like on anything, like, she's never there.
I just know her from like memes and stuff.
Like, she is never there. I know she's the memes with the Nezuko too. Like, she's mainly known for the meme with the small little Nezuko
chasing after her with the sword, and then she shrinks.
Yeah. But Kaneo, like they do like promos for like cafes or merch, or like they have nothing, and they do like other like minor characters. And I'm like, really, you have this minor character, but you don't have her?
And
I guess
what's her name?
I'm just salty because she's my girl. She's my precious child.
What's her name?
Kaneo.
It's
I know I'm butchering it. I know I'm
it's not.
butchering it.
Who's Shinobu?
Shinobu. It's a spoiler.
Okay, so don't say anything. I just know the name Shinobu.
Well, Shinobu is I mean, if they haven't watched, I'm pretty sure a lot of people watched the anime, but Shinobu is one of the main characters.
Uh huh.
Well, I mean, one of the major ones, you know.
Right.
But who Shinobu like who she is, it's spoiler.
Okay, no problem.
And so these are the four people that are present. There's five people, but one's missing, and or they're just not there. And so then the girls come back. Oh, I don't have a picture of them. I thought I got one, but they're the twin girls again. They're the twin girls again, and you know, they're telling them the ranks of what they are, and then they tell them you know, they're the lowest rank, and they're Mizunoto, and that's the lowest rank in the Demon Slayer. And then they get assigned their Kazugai crows. And actually, do I have I darn it, I thought I got a picture of that too. I didn't.
It looks like a regular crow. It's not a big deal.
Oh wait, I got this one right here. But yeah, they look like crows, so they're crows.
Yeah.
It's
Except Londi, he gets a sparrow.
He gets a sparrow. But yeah, but the crows, they talk. The crows talk, and they're their guides, and you know, they're the ones that give them their direct missions. And so then after they get the crow, the Genya is like, I want my sword, give me my sword. And they're like, oh, we have ore for you guys to pick from, and whatever ore you pick, we'll forge it into a sword, or we'll have someone forge it into a sword. And I'm like, Genya's pissed off because he wants his sword now, and he like grabs one of the twins' hair, and like he's really aggressive with her. And then Tanjiro's like, don't touch her. And
all
like,
women
you know,
are queens. If she breathes, she's a thought.
Oh, it's like you say all women's are queens, and it just reminds me of this one character that I love in the series, and I can't mention it because it's spoiler. Like,
all right, guys. Spoiler alert! In like the last 5 minutes of the podcast, we'll do like spoiler chat.
Okay, last 5 minutes in the chat. The podcast will do, because I like. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, so you know, Tanjiro's like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna freaking break your arm. And the guy's like, do it. And Tanjiro like literally almost breaks his arm. And so then yeah, they stop, and then they get the ore, and they pick out the ore, and then yeah, they go on their merry way.
I guess, you know? Tanjiro like smells his ore.
Yeah, Tanjiro smells his ore. He's like, this one right here is
that one smells like ore.
And so then Tanjiro goes back, and he's like beat up. Like this kid doesn't even like rest up. He like buys and like walks all the way back.
Yeah.
And then like he's like on the brink of collapsing, but then like Nezuko walks out, and like she rushes towards him, and she like embraces him.
Wait. Why did she kick down the door?
I have no idea why she kicked down the door.
She just kicks down the door like nonchalantly. She doesn't even know he's there, so it's not like oh, my brother. No, she just kicks down the door and walks out, and then she looks over. She's like, oh, hello.
Yeah, but Nezuko's awake. Yay!
Yeah, after 2 years, Nezuko's awake.
Yeah, after 2 years of sleeping. And so then
I wish I could sleep for 2 years.
Same. And so then she goes, and then Uraraki like sees them, and then he goes and he hugs them both, and he's happy. He's like, oh, we put the same picture. he hugs him and he's like, I'm glad you're back. You survived. He's such a happy grandpa.
Yeah, you can't see it in this picture actually in the screenshot, but from the very corner of his mask, he's crying.
Oh yeah, he's crying.
Yeah. It doesn't show in the screenshot, but he's absolutely crying in the show. If you watch it, just pay attention to his mask.
Yeah, I can hear it in the voice too.
Yeah, but some people are bad at picking that kind of stuff up.
Yeah, so then he and he's glad he's back. So then I guess because I forgot how many days. I think it was like 15 days for the sword to be forged.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes knocking on the door, and then like Tanjiro's like literally like, who are you?
This is the
like,
one I heard him call a clown mask.
The other one I heard a clown mask.
I'm saying I never caught him call old man.
Or maybe this is the one he called it, and I just mixed it up.
Oh, maybe because this one he definitely did.
And so then he's like, who are you? And he's like I'm looking for Tanjiro, and he's like, and he's like, well, I'm the one that came and forged your sword. And then he looks at Tanjiro. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Hage Nezuko?
Sword guy.
He's sword guy. And then he sees like the color of Tanjiro's hair, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you have red in your hair." Like the sword that they forged, they changed color, so he's hoping, since Tanjiro has red hair, that the sword would turn to a bright red.
He calls him like Sunchild or something.
Yeah, and so he's like super excited. And he's like, hurry, So they go inside, and he's like telling him to like get the sword. And so then Tanjiro gets the sword, and he's anticipating it to be a bright red. Then it turns into a pitch black, and the guy's like disappointed, like so disappointed, and he like wants nothing to do with Tanjiro no more.
Starts wrestling him.
Yeah.
Like, how old are you anyway? I'm 37.
And so like the guy's pissed off because he wanted to see a bright red sword, and Tanjiro's like, okay, well, what does black mean? And they're like, well, we don't know, because it's so rare for someone to get a black sword, and that they consider it ominous. And so then they start talking, and as they're like conversing, the crow comes in, and it's like, Kaka, Tanjiro, go. I forgot what direction.
Yeah.
But go. But there's missing girls. The girls keep disappearing. It has to do with the demon. That's this is your first mission. Go. And it ends right there.
Yeah. And that was it. That was the 5 episodes that we had to watch.
I ended up watching the whole series again.
You fucking weeb.
Okay. So what I like about the series is that they didn't make him OP right away. Like, you saw him train, and it took him years to get to where he was, and he's still like not even that strong. He gets stronger. Like, not spoilers, but he does get stronger. Like, he's still considered weak right now.
Yeah, because he's like they said, out of the 10 levels of being a demon slayer, he's at the lowest level.
Yeah.
I was annoyed that the levels are just like whatever the name is, and then the next lower level is the same thing but with toe added.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, geez, how original.
It's like Kanata, it's Kanato.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
So then, what are your thoughts about the series?
Let's see. If I was to give it a rating, I'd give it like a solid 4 out of 5. I did really enjoy it. Would I continue watching it after what I saw? I definitely want to give the movie a shot, and maybe if they do season 2, which as popular as it is, I'm sure they will, I'll probably give it an extended shot after that. But I don't think I'll be watching anymore right now.
Uh-huh.
And the reason for that is I finished the season.
You finished it? You ended up finishing it.
Yeah.
I'm actually shooketh. I honestly thought I swear I honestly thought you wouldn't like it.
For a little insight to those listening, uh, all day I was like, yeah, I have some things to say about this show, and we'll talk about that later. Like trying to make it seem like I didn't like it. Meanwhile, I'm like, when is season 2?
I swear I honestly thought you weren't gonna like it.
I will say that like as far as like cause Celeste, you know me, you know I'm a writer, and we've never actually like sat down and watched anything together. But I do this thing where like I'll be watching something and I'll just start calling things out because I'm thinking from the perspective of what would I do if I was writing it. And a lot of times, you know, humble brag here, I'm right, and it makes a lot of shows like kind of boring to me. So like I have a hard time a lot of times like sticking to something because I'm like, oh, I can just guess what's gonna happen. And I did that with this, but they made the characters likable. The world is nice. It's a little jarring at times with some of the things that happen, but I did enjoy it.
Like I adore the artwork, and when the anime was announced and when it was being created, I was so happy that I know I'm gonna butcher the company's name, but Utabo, the animation company. I'm trying to remember.
I was always
Starts
confused
with-
if it's Ufotable or UFO table.
I don't know, but it's that. It's one of those. I was so happy because I love their animation. Love, love, love. Like they always do top tier jobs. And I was super ecstatic when I found out that they were the ones that were going to animate this.
Right. The animation is very good. If not, the one thing I will say is that it does get a little repetitive, but I can understand the reasons why it gets repetitive at times because his moves are supposed to be very practiced moves and he's not supposed to stray. So it would make sense that they look the same every time he does them.
Yeah. Well, once we get to spoiler corner, I'll let you in a little secret.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we are kind of at spoiler corner already because we've done the review,
Okay.
we've done our talking and everything.
So, for
spoilers, everyone.
yeah, spoiler warning, you guys. Tanjiro ends up changing his breathing style.
I saw that a little bit with God, with the girl with the 2 balls that she was throwing, or more than 2 balls actually. The tamaris that she was throwing, and he actually like combined the 2 breathing styles, and he was like, oh, it's this breathing style, perfected or something like that. And it was slightly different.
It was like it came from I don't know if you got it, but it's a form that he got from his father.
From his father.
Remember he has a flashback when he's a kid, and he's telling his mom, why is dad's really sick, why is he dancing, and she's like, oh, he's dancing, you know, for the god.
Oh, right, yeah. So here's gonna be the thing, right? So I finished the show, but I will admit a lot of the time spent watching after the 5 episodes was at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning when I couldn't sleep and I was like half awake. So I'm probably not gonna be the best at remembering things.
But yeah, but that, like, you know, right there, that's a big giant clue right there.
Yeah, that's also why earlier I was like, oh, who's Shinobu?
You want to know who Shinobu is?
I was just like, oh, who's... Hey, I was trying to see if you realized that I finished it.
No, I thought you were interested in Shinobu because Shinobu is like one of the popular like characters.
Oh no, I was just name dropping just to see if you would catch on.
No, I honestly
and then
thought
I was gonna like if you would have said like, oh, did you finish it? I was gonna be like, no, I just know because Shinobu Oshino, and somebody said that there was a Shinobu in this show.
Oh, when I heard her name was Shinobu, right away I thought of Shinobu Ushino from Monogatari series.
Yeah. That was my plan. I was like, when I said it, I was like, oh, she's gonna be like, oh, you finished watching it, Lizer, and my plan was to bring up Monogatari, be like, no, my friend told me that there was a character with the same name.
But Do you want to know who she's actually the older adoptive sister of Kanoa,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to remember because if they mention her backstory of I know they mentioned the sister's backstory, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. So they mentioned Kanae's, which is the older one, and then Shinobu, and then I guess it's not spoiler because you did end up watching it.
Well, it's spoilers for people who haven't.
Yeah, but yeah, so she's the second oldest adopted sister of Kaneo. They take her in. Kaneo was a slave who was sold, and this is like another thing too. A lot of people, depict Kanoa as someone who's like soft spoken. She's not soft spoken. She literally was raised in an environment where like they beat the shit out of like her, or they like axed her siblings if they stepped out of line.
Yeah. So it's
And
it's
so
not it's not her being shy or timid. It's enforced silence.
it's yeah. So so when they adopted her, they told her, like you can think for yourself, like you can do whatever you want.
Which is a horrible
And
mistake. No woman should ever think for herself.
how dare women.
How dare they?
and so um and so they give her uh people out there. I have a I have a Tumblr blog, and like I said, my thing is like Knorr, like I love her. And I have this thing where it's like Coin's fate. And the reason why I called it Coin's fate is because they give her a coin, and that coin is to like heads. She'll be like heads. I'll go this way. Tails, I'll go that way. She can't decide for herself. Like she has to be told what to do, like because of the trauma like that was inflicted on her. And so she has to flip a coin, and that's why when Tanjiro gets that coin from her, and he flips it, and that's when she like realizes, that's when she's like, oh, you know what, like maybe I should change. But she's not soft spoken. Like there's a scene like in the manga where she's like freaking like tearing somebody up verbally. Like she is not afraid to tell what's on her mind. She's just afraid of the consequences, if
Right.
that if that makes sense. But she will like cuss you out. Like she will.
There is one character I want to talk about a little bit.
Who?
Michael Jackson.
Oh my god. When I started watching the anime again, and you know how you talked about how like the opening song is a banger and it's like cut in half.
Yeah.
I went on YouTube, and I swore to look up the opening song, and in the comment sections all you hear is Michael Jackson reference. Like all you see is Michael Jackson reference. Like oh, when I'm older and my kids ask me who Michael Jackson is, I'm gonna show them a picture of this guy.
Yeah. Do you think if the meme gets popular enough, they can get Michael Jackson to do a cover of the song?
What?
Answer the question.
No.
Why?
Because no.
I guess he's not cool enough.
Who? Michael Jackson or Muzzin?
Michael Jackson.
Rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
Oh my god. Oh,
But so one thing I'm really really sad about is that one of my favorite like characters is first appearance is going to be in his first appearance is in the Demon Slayer movie, but he's the most hated villain,
uh-huh.
and I am really sad because I love him so much.
Has the movie been given a dub yet?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard the Japanese voices at all, but in my experience, when I watch a show for the first time, whether it be sub or dub, and then I try to watch it in the other language, I just can't do it.
Wanna know what's funny? I like both versions. I like the sub and the dub.
I can do either one, but I have to stick with the one I started first. So if I do English first, the Japanese voices sound incredibly annoying to me. And if I do Japanese first, the English voices just sound bland.
No, I love both of them. Like, they did a great job with both of them.
Yeah.
So like when second season comes out, I'm gonna watch it in Japanese. Like, I have no problem with that.
Because I can't wait that long.
Well, no, I liked it. You know, that's when I first saw it. I did see it first in Japanese, and then when I watching it for the podcast to refresh my memory, I was like, oh, I don't feel like reading subtitles, you know. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna like it, but I actually enjoyed, you know, the English dub.
Right. Now, just for the sake of keeping the podcast at a, you know, good length, we should end there. Is there any like last things you want to say about this specific show?
Demon Slayer is a good show. Watch it.
I agree.
That's it. Like, no, I love it. I love it. I honestly, like, like, I get into an anime. Like, I noticed recently it takes me a while to get into an anime, like, as I, like, passionately.
Uh-huh.
And this one I got passionately invested in. You know, because like I said, I've been into this anime for, like, years. Or, like I said, I started reading the manga.
Right.
Anime got adapted. So I've been into the series for quite a while. And so this one really does have a special place in my heart. And it's just like I said, it's top tier. I love the character developments. I love the backstories to certain characters. It's just enjoyable.
For me, again, this is a very good show. I do believe that you should watch it. After the first 5 episodes, like once I hit episode 5, I was invested, especially since it ends on the cliffhanger of like, oh, here's your first mission, and I was like, well, that sounds interesting, and that's originally why I kept watching. When it gets to like the second mission, if I'm remembering correctly, because they just happen back to back.
Is that the mountain one?
Is it? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's the mountain. Yeah, it's the mountain.
But it just became a thing of like.
Oh wait, no! It's the house. It's the house one. Because it's the disappearing, and then it's the house, and then it's the mountain.
Okay, so it was at some point between those that like it kind of started to drag a little bit, but then we got to when they went to the city, and I was like, okay, and then it picked up a little bit, and I was happy again. So as long as you're not like ADD where you just can't pay attention, you'll be fine. So yeah, I'll stick with a solid 4 out of 5.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5.
A million. It's a million.
Now, are you ready to find out what next week's is?
I'm ready. Quoted by SpongeBob SquarePants.
Do you have any thoughts on what it might be?
I actually have no clue.
I
don't know.
Hint at anything this time, huh?
That's what I was about to say. I'm not sure if you hinted it or what, but I don't know.
I think from the first time since we started this podcast, I have not hinted at this one at all. The only thing I said was during last podcast where I was like, this actually means something to me.
Which is it? Oh, that's such a good movie. It's such a good movie.
It's so good.
That is such a good movie. I've watched it in both English and Japanese.
I have the Blu-ray.
I bought it on YouTube.
I got the Blu-ray, and then like it took a while to ship to me, and it got here, and then like 2 days later, Netflix was like, "Hey, we have this movie." And I was like, "Son of a bitch."
So if you guys want to watch it, you guys can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Or by.
But no, I bought it on YouTube. It's such a good movie.
So
like I saw I mean, I saw gifs of it, and I'm like, I have to watch this, and never regretted.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
So what? Next week when we talk about it, I'll explain how I found out about it, because I knew about it years before the movie existed. Um, and to those that are just doing audio, it's a silent voice. We're gonna be watching the movie, so be on the lookout for that, because that is going to be a deep one.
It is. This is such a deep movie, and it's like emotionally, like it covers a lot of hard subjects.
Oh yeah. So yeah, content warning then. Also for next week, be emotionally prepared for things that might trigger you, like bullying,
Suicide.
suicide, attempted suicide, those kind of things. Just
Yeah.
be careful with that. Don't want to set anyone off.
Definitely. I'll, we should have like a warning. We'll do a warning sign next
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we should do like a watch along.
Oh, watch! Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Me too.
People, I cry so easily. Like people don't understand. I cry so easily. Like it'll be like the smallest thing, and I'm just like bawling.
All right,
I have a sensitive soul.
So you hear it here first. Next week we get Sniffly Celeste.
I'm crying.
Hope to see everyone next week. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.